Chapter 10. No kids. I haven't seen or heard from John Doe since I left the apartment that day. I left my phone there and really didn't want to be reached, so I was in no rush to go back and get it. The only thing I needed was my family's personal items and a few things of my own. I was finally at a place where I felt peace. Zeke went to work every day and made sure I didn't need for anything, and I took it upon myself to make sure dinner was always cooked and the house was always clean. I even made sure to still go to the shop once a week to do my cleaning duties. He told me I could be there, but I still wasn't allowed to clean anything. He even had me on payroll like any other employee. And since I've been staying with Zeke, I've had time to clear my head and reflect on life and how much I've missed my family. Although my aunt and grandmother weren't my favorite people, I still missed them. Zeke said I could use his car today to run a few errands and make a few visits, and he took his truck to work. On this particular morning, I woke up feeling different. I know for the first month or so, things has been coming together pretty good, but for some reason, I felt great. I even cooked Zeke breakfast before he kissed me on my forehead and ran off to work. I cleaned the house and got myself dressed so I could hit the streets. My first stop was to the phone company. Zeke let me use his backup phone to talk to him while he was at work, and I know he'll let me keep his phone, but I needed my own. Once I got my new phone, I figured it was time to catch up with some people. The first stop I made was to the nursing home on 21st Street. I was so happy to see my girl Carmen at the receptionist desk. "Oh my God, how are you?" says Carmen. "I'm better." "Well, you're looking good." "Thank you, girl. I just got a new phone and I miss you and the kids so much." "I miss you too, sis. Put my phone number in it and be sure to call me. And be careful because John Doe's been everywhere looking for you. I had to tell him not to knock on my door again." That didn't surprise me at all. "Okay, girl. I'll be careful. And I'll call you before I go back on that side of town to get the rest of my stuff," I said. "Okay, sis. Love you," she yells. I got back into my car feeling good after seeing Carmen. I kept trying to act like I didn't hear the last part she said. But in other news, it was time for me to take that long drive I've been dreading. The last time I went to my grandmother's house, I was told the worst news of my life. But it was now time for me to be a big girl and take that drive again. When I made it to my grandmother's, I was surprised to see that they weren't there, but my cousin Trell was. I sat and talked with him for about an hour. He filled me in on all the craziness in the family. He said they all ran through the money, and they were upset that I didn't show up to the wake or the service. Trell seemed to forgive me and understand the pain I was dealing with. And before I left, he gave me with a card with the attorney's information on it, and it said that a man had came by a few times looking for me. I thanked my cousin, hugged him, and promised to keep in touch better. When I got in the car, I decided to call the number on the back of the card. "Hi, this is Charlotte Davis. I heard you've been trying to reach me," I said. "Hi, Charlotte. I have a personal business matter dealing with you. Can you please come by my office right away?" "Sure. I'll get the address from your business card and I'm heading that way," I said. I was a little scared and didn't know what to think. I just know that anytime any of my friends had to deal with an attorney, they were in some sort of trouble. I made it to his office and walked in slowly. "Miss Shyla, thank you for coming. You're a hard woman to reach." "I'm sorry, sir. What is this about?" I asked. "First off, I'm sorry to hear about the passing of your family. Your parents had a will for you to receive once you turned 18, and if I understand correctly, you turned 18 a few months back, right?" "Yes." "Well, here's the keys and paperwork to 4 houses and a check for $100,000. The man was still talking, but I didn't hear anything else he said after I heard $100,000. "Shyla, did you hear me? This briefcase is yours." I was an emotional wreck, but happy at the same time that my family wanted me to be well off even after they passed. I thought to myself, if I would have gotten this money when I was supposed to, I wouldn't have had to break into all those houses. But then again, I would have never met Zeke, and God knows what John Doe and I would have done with all that money. So I grabbed some Kleenex from my glove compartment, and out of nowhere, I got dizzy, and all of my breakfast was now on my lap. I cleaned myself up the best way I could and drove home. I got home and took a hot shower. I tried to eat some soup, but I didn't have an appetite for anything. I was a mess. I went from receiving the best news I've gotten in a long time to now being curled up in the bed, running back and forth to the bathroom. When Zeke called, I told him how I was feeling, but then he promised to take care of me. When Zeke made it home, I was balled up, sleeping like a newborn baby. "Hey, love, how you feel?" "I'm happy to see you, but I feel horrible." Zeke pulled out a box from his bag and handed it to me. "Go to the bathroom and take this," said Zeke. "A pregnancy test? Please just go take it." Out of everything I had going on, I never thought I'd end up pregnant. Well, not right now, at least. I mean, John Doe and I had unprotected sex for over a year, and I never missed Flow. But now that I think about it, maybe I should go take the test. I went to the bathroom and closed the door behind me. I followed the instructions on the box and waited for the results, and all I could do was put my head down and cry as I saw the 2 lines appear on the test. After about 2 minutes of him anxiously waiting by the door, he came in and started rubbing my back. He knew the results by my actions, but for some reason, I think he had the same question I was thinking, but then he says, "Stop crying. I'll be here for you and my kid." We both knew it was a possibility of John Doe being a father, but Zeke made it clear that he was raising his baby. He ran out the bathroom dancing and singing, "Who's your daddy?" Then he would answer himself by yelling, "Me, that's who." I can tell that he was really happy, and his energy made me happy knowing that I had his support. He talked about the baby all night, and I can tell that he would be an overprotective daddy. The next few months, he said he had something new for the baby almost every day. I'm sure the baby would never need for anything. And we decided it was time for me to meet his family. And at this point, everyone was congratulating me on my pregnancy, and I decided to make Kendall my baby's godmother. I'm now 4 months pregnant, and the closer I got to being a mom, the more I missed mine. It was really starting to bother me, and the only thing I had of hers was that ring that I left at that apartment. When Zeke got home from work, I explained to him how I was feeling. He really didn't want me going back over to that apartment, but he knew that was the only thing that would make me feel better. "Shy, you know what type of guy we're dealing with. Well, I understand that money can't buy certain things. If you want your family things, I'll take you to go and get it." Zeke went to his guest room for about 5 minutes and came out and said, "Let's go." I felt Zeke came at a whole different person. I was scared of what could possibly happen. I called Carmen and told her I was on my way, and she assured me that John Doe was gone, and all I had to do was run in and get my stuff and run out. When we made it to the apartments, I told Zeke to drive around again to make sure I didn't see his car. I called Carmen and told her I've arrived. Zeke was determined to go in with me, but I told him that was a bad idea. He said if I wasn't out in 5 minutes, he was coming in. I gave him a kiss and walked to the apartment door with Carmen. She agreed to go in with me and look out for me like always. My whole body felt gross as I walked into my old apartment. I knocked on the door to see if anyone would answer. No one did, so I used my key and entered. We made it to the center of the living room floor, and that's when I saw him coming from the back room with a gun aiming at us. "I knew you'd be back, Sha." "John Doe, please just let me get my stuff, and I promise I'll leave," I begged. It smelled like he had been drinking for months straight. He did not look good. "Leave? Bitch, you ain't going nowhere. Look at my face. And Carmen, I should kill you too," he yelled. I felt so bad for involving Carmen in my drama, and the last thing I wanted was for her to get hurt while helping me. And I couldn't believe the black marks the skillet left on his face that night. "Eugene, stop it. I've known you for years. Now let this girl get her stuff and go," says Carmen. "Eugene being gone, bitch." All of a sudden, we see the door open, and it was my lifesaver walking in with his gun drawn. "John Doe, put the gun down, man," says Zeke. "Well, I'll be damned. One of my niggas done played me again. We supposed to have the gun on the bitch, not each other," he yelled. The more he talked, the closer he got to Zeke. Now I think he actually wanted to kill Zeke more than he wanted to kill me. "John Doe, please just let me get my stuff," I begged. John Doe turned and gave me a look of disgust. "So I guess the rumors were true. I told everybody you couldn't be pregnant. I was with some hoe-ass niggas back in the day and got shot up while leaving the nightclub. Doctor said I could never have kids. But I guess you don't remember that, do you, Zeke? If I can't have kids, then this bitch can't have kids," he yells. John Doe aimed the gun back at me and shot twice. I moved just in time not to get hit. I heard 2 more gunshots, not knowing if it came from John Doe or Zeke. Both men started to wrestle throughout the apartment, and everything was a blur. I heard one last gunshot and a Bloody Mary scream from Carmen that I would never forget. To be continued.